Shirley Heinze was a psychologist. She had a passion for protecting the dunes area. She lived in Ogden Dunes. And when she passed away, her friends, Betty Lou and Robert Seidner, donated $30,000 to start the Shirley Heinze Environmental Fund. We changed our name a little bit to the Shirley Heinze Land Trust because it became more clear what our mission was: to preserve and protect the natural lands and waters in northwestern Indiana and to engage communities in nature.
Generally, stewardship is the responsible care of something entrusted to somebody. So we care for our nature preserves. We maintain all the trails and parking lots and facilities and all of our equipment and buildings, all those kinds of things. I also kind of say like we're responsible for stewarding our communities in some way. Like we have nature preserves so that they improve the quality of life for people, so we do a lot of outreach and education programming to engage the community with nature and give them an accessible place to experience nature. In like a corny way, one of my favorite things is managing land, right? It's why I do what I do. I really like to have an impact on the land and see the restoration process. So I've been with Shirley Heinze for about 8 years, and some of the properties I've really seen them transform from having terrible invasive species problems to being these really high quality habitats.
We in particular own properties from Hammond all the way over to St. Joseph County. A little bit closer to the Lake County area, you will have the dune and swale, which is a globally threatened, globally imperiled habitat. We have prairies in Hobart, very wet prairies. You don't normally see that kind of habitat in Indiana. Of course, you come here and you have the Valparaiso moraine properties with dense canopy and the ravine systems that they have. We also own property in Beverly Shores, so we have part of the Great Marsh, which is, again, back from the dunes, but just behind the dunes. Part of a whole marsh ecosystem with thousands of acres that a lot of us are trying to help restore. It's hard to talk about how diverse these areas are because they are incredibly diverse. One of the great things that we do is not only preserve these things, which is important in its own right, but we do want people to enjoy them and also just to see the kind of diversity that's out in nature, the joy and wonderment of seasons, get out and enjoy it and do things like hike, get involved in any kind of arts programs that we have, take pictures, even just take other friends out and hike. And to me it's very relaxing and calming, and I think it's also very fulfilling to be out in nature, and I think we want more people to do just that. I think we're at a pretty crucial time right now that a lot of us are starting to see the reduction of natural and green space. And so I think that conservation is so incredibly important, especially when you have these remnant natural areas that are just so incredible and so diverse. I hate to see those potentially getting reduced in numbers and no longer being there for us to enjoy and to be there too, just as working systems.
We want to create a culture of conservation. We want people to be aware of the importance of a land trust and the importance of preserving land and green spaces in our communities. Everything that we protect and preserve is forever, so we need new generations all the time, right? Young minds with great new ideas that come in and sort of carry the torch.
We also need a place where humans can go and interact with nature, where they can connect, get that spark to want to help protect nature as well. I think now we have the opportunity to continue to fulfill that mission that was started 40 years ago.